before the human race crossed the vast territories of Canada, before science understood how life dominates a kingdom marked by ice. A wild nature already existed where every winter tested even the most powerful predators. In wild Canada, among boreal forests, snow-covered mountains, frozen tundras and storm-battered coasts, the great predators compete for territory and food, surviving thanks to strength, endurance, stealth, and an extraordinary adaptation to the cold. Welcome to wild Canada, the great predators that dominate the frozen kingdom. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the video below and let us know where you are watching from to discuss together. Let's get started. The lowlands of the boreal forests are transformed into a mirror of water and mud where dense vegetation hides the secrets of a submerged world. In this labyrinth of peat and fallen branches, nature imposes a slow but implacable pace of life that punishes those who do not have the ability to adapt. Mist creeps over the stagnant surface, while the dawn cold penetrates to the bones of the inhabitants who dare to cross the swamps. Every step on this terrain is a gamble against hidden depth and physical exhaustion that can immobilize the most unwary. Among the silver willows emerges Freya, a female moose of colossal dimensions who walks with a silent authority over the unstable ground. Her dark and coarse fur drips water as she advances, protecting her skin from the biting wind that sweeps across the flooded plains. Her goal is to reach a bank of aquatic plants rich in sodium, to replenish her mineral reserves and maintain milk production for her calf. This biological need forces her to expose herself in open areas where visibility is greater and the protection of trees disappears. Failure to find these essential nutrients would mean the weakening of her calf, a loss of health that could compromise its survival before winter. In the hierarchy of the cold forest, an exhausted mother cannot offer the necessary defense against the dangers lurking in the gloom. Freya uses her elongated snout to explore beneath the surface of the water, looking for the most tender shoots of lilies and algae growing in the muddy bed. Every movement is calculated, always keeping an eye on the nearby shore while her calf tries to follow her steps clumsily. This majestic animal can weigh more than 400 kilograms, leaning on extremely long legs that function as stilts to cross flooded areas. Her height of 2 meters at the withers allows her to monitor the surroundings above the low bushes while moving efficiently. Scientists point out that the moose possesses a prehensile upper lip designed to pull up resistant vegetation with considerable mechanical force. This adaptation allows it to consume up to 30 kilograms of plant matter a day, processing cellulose in a highly specialized digestive system. An obstacle appears when a pack of hungry wolves detects the calf's trail and begins to surround the swamp area with hostile intentions. The water that was once an advantage now hinders the calf's quick escape, forcing Freya to make an immediate tactical decision. Instead of fleeing toward the dense forest, Freya positions herself between the predators and her offspring, using her body mass as an impregnable shield. She knows that in deep water she has a competitive advantage, as her large size allows her to maneuver while the attackers must swim. The force of a kick from this giant deer can reach several thousand newtons, an impact capable of neutralizing an aggressor with a single accurate blow. Her sharp and heavy hooves are defensive weapons she uses with a precision that belies her calm and herbivorous appearance. The climax of the encounter occurs when the alpha wolf attempts an approach, but is repelled by a burst of fast and powerful defensive movements. Faced with the mother's determination and the risk of serious injury, the hunting group chooses to withdraw in search of less dangerous prey. With the danger gone, Freya guides her calf toward the safety of dry land, having secured not only food, but also life. The success of her resistance ensures that the little one can continue growing and learning the lessons necessary to master the flooded forest. The ecological importance of these giants lies in their ability to shape the aquatic landscape by consuming large amounts of plant biomass. Their existence maintains the balance of boreal wetlands, allowing light to penetrate the water and other life forms to thrive. As the sun hides behind the pines, silence returns to the swamp. But Freya's vigilance does not diminish for a single moment in the dark. New shadows move in the distance of the valley, and soon she will have to face a challenge that will test not only her strength, but her wisdom. Leaving behind the glacial rivers, the journey continues among the immense coniferous forests, where a long howl announces the start of a new hunt. It is the grey wolf, Canis lupus, one of the most efficient social predators in the northern hemisphere. Its greatest strength lies not only in its sharp fangs, but in the extraordinary cooperation between all members of the pack. Thanks to constant communication and a well-organized strategy, they can face prey much larger than any of them. Their impressive endurance allows them to travel great distances without slowing the pace of the pursuit. However, when they hunt alone or the group loses coordination, their chances of success decrease considerably. At dawn, the pack silently roams the forest, looking for the trail of large herbivores. It doesn't take long before locating a group of elk, among which an enormous bull elk stands out. Without rushing, the wolves begin to slowly surround the group from different directions. When the elk tries to escape, several wolves force it to constantly change direction. While some pursue closely, others conserve energy to relieve their companions at the right time. Kilometer after kilometer, the enormous herbivore begins to lose speed as fatigue accumulates. seizing the decisive moment, the entire pack coordinates to finally immobilize the prey. The hunt concludes, thanks to a strategy based on endurance, discipline, and teamwork. In the immense forests of the north, the grey wolf proves that union, patience, and almost perfect coordination can be weapons much more powerful than the strength of a single hunter. The Arctic tundra unfolds as an infinite canvas of absolute whiteness, where the horizon is lost between the icy mist and the polar wind. This is a desert of ice, where life must face one of the most relentless forces on the planet, a void where shelter is a non-existent concept. Winter approaches with an alarming speed, transforming the landscape into a frost trap that threatens to bury any trace of food under layers of hardened snow. Resource scarcity becomes a persistent shadow that dictates the fate of thousands of creatures that depend on hidden vegetation. Among the tide of moving bodies emerges Ilara, a veteran female caribou who leads her group with wisdom etched by years of constant migration. She bears the responsibility of guiding her family across thousands of kilometers in search of a place where survival is possible. Her goal is to reach the southern valleys before the most severe storms close the mountain passes and cut off their escape route. If Ilara fails to find the safe path, the group will be trapped in the heart of the Arctic, facing certain death from starvation or extreme cold. The body of these animals is a marvel of thermal adaptation, possessing a double coat with hollow fibers that trap air to create a superior insulating layer. This scientific feature allows them to maintain their internal temperature even when the thermometer drops below -40 degrees Celsius. As they advance, their legs demonstrate unique biological engineering with wide hooves that expand to act as natural snowshoes. This design gives them essential buoyancy on soft snow, preventing them from sinking and wasting the vital energy necessary for the journey. Ilara guides the group over treacherous ice surfaces, where the structure of their hooves provides a surprising grip on the slippery terrain. The ability to walk on frozen glass without losing balance is the difference between continuing the march or suffering a fatal injury. An obstacle arises when an unusually thick layer of ice covers the lichen meadows, forcing the caribou to make an exhausting physical effort to feed. Ilara uses her strong hooves to dig deeply into the snow, looking for the trail of vegetation hidden under the white blanket. These migratory animals depend almost exclusively on lichens and moss during winter, a source of food that requires constant and thorough searching. Their acute sense of smell allows them to detect plants even through a meter of snow, optimizing every digging attempt. The climax of the day occurs when the group must cross an exposed valley where a pack of wolves waits in silence, taking advantage of the reduced visibility of the blizzard. Ilara perceives the danger and decides to change formation, grouping the youngest individuals in the center to protect them from any lateral attack. With amazing coordination, thousands of caribou move as a single organism, using the strength of numbers to deter the predators surrounding them. The leader's determination and group cohesion allow them to cross the risk area without losing any member in the process. Finally, after weeks of uninterrupted march, the group reaches the forested areas of the south where the climate is less hostile and food is more accessible. The success of this epic migration ensures that Ilara's offspring have the opportunity to see a new spring in the Arctic. The migration of the caribou is fundamental for ecological balance, as while moving, they distribute essential nutrients across vast stretches of land. Their constant passage helps renew the soil and allows other plant species to thrive in this difficult environment. Upon reaching their winter destination, the group begins to disperse to rest, having fulfilled once again the unbreakable law of nature. Peace is felt in the cold air, but all know that this is only a temporary respite in the eternal cycle of their existence. However, as the sun sets, a trail of fresh tracks near the camp suggests that new challenges are about to emerge on the snowy horizon. The return journey to the north will begin soon, and Ilara's strength will be tested once more by fate. The journey enters the snow-covered mountains and the immense coniferous forests, where one of the most powerful predators in North America dominates the landscape. It is the grizzly bear, Ursus arctos horribilis, a giant whose presence commands respect in every corner of the wild nature. Its massive musculature provides it with extraordinary strength, capable of taking down large prey and moving heavy rocks in search of food. Its sense of smell is exceptional and can detect the scent of an animal or a carcass from several kilometers away. Besides hunting, it also takes advantage of fruits, roots, insects, and fish, becoming a highly efficient opportunist. However, maintaining a body of such size demands an enormous consumption of energy throughout the year. Before the arrival of winter, it must accumulate a thick layer of fat that allows it to survive during hibernation. At the edge of a mountain river, a group of salmon swim upstream to complete their reproduction cycle. The grizzly remains motionless in the water, patiently observing every movement of the fish. At the precise moment, a salmon jumps out of the water, trying to overcome the current. With a quick and precise swipe, the bear catches the prey before it falls back into the river. Firmly holding the salmon between its powerful jaws, it calmly heads toward the shore to feed. Each catch represents a valuable source of energy indispensable to face the long months of cold. Patience, strength, and precision turn this simple ambush into an extraordinarily effective strategy. Between the mountains, forests, and rivers of the north, the grizzly bear proves that true power lies not only in its imposing strength, but also in its intelligence to take advantage of every opportunity that nature offers. In the heart of the deep forests, a robust shadow moves with surprising discretion for its imposing size. The American black bear, scientifically Ursus americanus, is the guardian of the dense groves of the low and middle lands of the mountain. An adult male can reach a weight of 250 kilograms, possessing a physical structure designed for endurance and muscle strength. Its most powerful biological tool is its sense of smell, being 7 times more acute than that of an elite canine tracker. Its rounded ears capture subtle frequencies, allowing it to monitor the environment with absolute precision before any unusual vibration. Despite its volume, it is an exceptional climber that uses its short and curved claws to ascend vertical trunks with ease. This climbing ability provides it with an immediate strategic refuge before the presence of larger-scale competitors on the terrain. Its diet is extremely versatile, adapting to the seasonal availability of resources such as nuts, wild berries, and tender shoots. It can consume up to 15 kilograms of plant sustenance in a single daily cycle to accumulate the vital energy necessary for its organism. The black bear is a prudent being that prefers to avoid direct encounters with the imposing grizzly bear in transition zones. In regions where they coincide, the black bear uses its superior agility to withdraw toward the interior of the thickest and most protected grove. It uses visual signals and marks on the bark to establish the limits of its domain before other individuals who share its habitat. During autumn, its priority is to increase its body mass drastically before entering the prolonged winter rest period. As a seed disperser, it ensures the regeneration and health of the forest ecosystem through its extensive journeys across the park's geography. The American black bear is the silent architect of the jungle, a symbol of adaptation and constant biological balance in wild nature. The infinite prairies of central North America transform into a white battlefield under the scourge of winter storms. The wind cuts like a blade, while snow accumulates in mounds that bury any hope of finding easy food among the dry grass. In this desolate environment, the temperature frequently drops below -30 degrees Celsius, freezing the moisture in the air and covering the vegetation with an armor of ice. Inhabitants of the plain must possess exceptional physical resistance not to succumb to thermal exhaustion in the middle of nowhere. A colossal figure emerges from the mist, a majestic bull bison named Titan, who represents brute force and the perseverance of his species in this hostile climate. With his back covered in snow, he advances with a determination that inspires respect in any creature that crosses his path in the white immensity. His goal is to locate the dry grasses hidden under the thick white layer, to feed his body of more than 1,000 kilograms before losing his strength. If he fails to find sufficient sustenance, Titan will lose the energy necessary to protect his herd and defend his right as the dominant male against other rivals. The loss of his fat reserves during these critical months could lead him to a situation of extreme weakness, making him vulnerable to predators watching from a distance. The survival of the youngest also depends on his ability to open safe paths through deep snow and ice. Titan uses his enormous head and powerful shoulders as a natural shovel, swinging them from side to side to push away snow and reach the buried grass. This technique requires an immense energetic expenditure, but it is the only way to access the nutrients that the soil keeps protected from the extreme cold. This giant possesses an extremely dense two-layer coat that acts as a perfect thermal insulator against the polar wind gusts that whip the prairie. His multi-compartment digestive system allows him to process the tough cellulose of dry plants and branches, extracting every available calorie from the plant matter. Suddenly, the howl of a pack of wolves resonates on the plain, alerting the bison to an imminent threat approaching on the left flank. Titan emits a deep roar and coordinates the group, placing the calves in the center while the adults form an impassable defensive barrier of horns. Despite his heavy appearance, this mammal can reach speeds of up to 55 kilometers per hour to charge at intruders or make a quick escape. His horns, present in both males and females, are effective combat tools that can deter the most determined attackers through brute force. After a tense confrontation where the collective strength of the herd prevails, the wolves decide to withdraw into the shadows of the nearby forest upon not finding a weakness. Titan returns to his excavation labor, proving that union and physical power are the keys to resisting in the immensity of winter. Success in defending the group ensures that the cycle of life continues, allowing the young to grow under the tutelage of the giants. Their presence not only dominates the landscape, but also helps redistribute the seeds and nutrients that will give life to new grass when spring arrives. With the sun sinking on the horizon, Titan rests briefly while the wind continues molding the snow around him into ghostly and cold forms. The struggle for existence never ends, and tomorrow the horizon will bring new tests that will challenge the unbreakable will of the Lord of the Prairies. Over the crystalline lakes where the reflection of granite meets the infinite blue, the undisputed sovereign of the air emerges. The bald eagle, known scientifically as Haliaeetus leucocephalus, is the living emblem of freedom and power in the skies of North America. With a wingspan that reaches 2.3 meters, its wings are aerodynamic oars that allow it to patrol vast territories with minimum effort. Its vision is a marvel of evolution, being 4 times sharper than that of a human, capable of detecting subtle movements beneath the surface. Its talons are precision instruments with a mechanical pressure force that can exceed 2,700 newtons on its target. From an elevated perch in the crown of a pine tree, the eagle monitors the current, searching for the silvery flash of a rainbow trout. Its legs extend forward in the last second, grazing the liquid surface with an impeccable technical synchronization. With a fluid movement, it secures its prize and recovers height, challenging the resistance of the liquid to soar again toward the blue. Despite weighing only 6 kilograms, its power allows it to lift catches that represent almost half of its own body mass. Its communication is based on high and piercing calls that establish sovereignty over its nesting and fishing area. Before the presence of other wing trackers, it defends its position with acrobatic maneuvers that demonstrate its aerial superiority. As a regulator of the aquatic system, the bald eagle ensures that the biological balance of fish populations remains healthy. Its massive nests, built at great height, are centers of life that have been used by generations of the same lineage. The bald eagle represents the resilience and majesty of an environment where sky and water merge in absolute harmony. In the vast domain of the Canadian taiga, where snow covers every corner, a specialist of evasion and resistance resides. The American hare, scientifically named Lepus americanus, is a model of biological adaptation before the rigor of extreme cold. Its most distinctive trait is its massive hind limbs, which act as natural snowshoes on the white and soft surface. These feet distribute its mass of barely 1.5 kilograms, allowing it to move without sinking into the gelid powder of winter. It performs a seasonal chromatic metamorphosis, transforming its brown summer coat into an immaculate white during the cold months. This technical transition provides it with an almost absolute invisibility in front of the trackers patrolling the boreal geography. Its ears are shorter than those of other hares, an adaptation to minimize body heat loss in the Arctic environment. During the months of scarcity, its diet is based on the consumption of tender shoots, bark, and small branches of conifers. It possesses a highly efficient digestive system that allows it to extract every gram of energy from the available woody vegetation. Before a danger signal, the hare can reach a speed of 45 kilometers per hour in a strategic evasion race. It uses side jumps of several meters to break its thermal trail and confuse the perception of its possible pursuers. During storms, it seeks refuge under the low branches of spruce trees, where the gelid wind loses its destructive power. Unlike other mammals that hibernate, it remains active throughout the winter, being a motor of vital energy for the ecosystem. Its existence is intimately linked to the cycle of alpha trackers, maintaining a biological balance dance that has endured for centuries. As a keystone species, the hare ensures that the food web of the taiga remains vibrant even under the most hostile conditions. Beyond the polar circle, in the white immensity of Canada, the absolute sovereign of the thick ice and the gelid currents emerges. The polar bear, scientifically Ursus maritimus, is a titan designed to thrive in the most extreme conditions of our planet. An adult male can reach a mass of 600 kilograms, consolidating himself as the largest terrestrial tracker of the Northern Hemisphere. Under its translucent coat, a black skin is hidden that absorbs thermal radiation, and a layer of fat 11 centimeters thick. It possesses a prodigious sense of smell, capable of detecting the presence of a seal at a distance of 30 kilometers on the solid surface. Its front legs act as biological oars, allowing it to swim distances of up to 100 kilometers without interruption in the Arctic Ocean. The approach strategy is an exercise of absolute patience, waiting for hours in front of the natural breathing holes in the ice. Upon perceiving movement, it deploys a mechanical pressure of 8,000 newtons to ensure success in its biological encounter with the target. This physical power is incomparable, far surpassing the capacity of any other inhabitant of the tundra or sea ice. However, its existence depends entirely on the stability of the ice, which functions as its only platform for seeking sustenance. During periods of thaw, it must conserve its vital energy, resorting to accumulated reserves to resist the scarcity of resources. It communicates through body postures and subtle huffs that establish clear hierarchies before other individuals at gathering points. As a keystone species, its presence regulates populations of marine mammals, maintaining the integrity and balance of the polar ecosystem. Protecting its habitat is essential to ensure that the White Guardian continues to reign over the outposts of the far north. The polar bear represents supreme resilience in the face of an environment changing under the impact of global climatic transformations. When the mantle of night falls over the temperate forests, a winged tracker emerges who dominates the silence with absolute mastery. The great horned owl, scientifically named as Bubo virginianus, is the undisputed sovereign of shadows and night air. With a wingspan that reaches 1.5 meters, this colossus of the air moves among the trees with surprising agility. Its mottled plumage of brown and grey tones provides it with perfect camouflage, blending with the bark of ancient trunks. The structure of its feathers has frayed edges that dissipate air turbulence, allowing a flight with almost no perceptible sound. It possesses an extraordinary cervical flexibility that allows it to turn its head up to 270 degrees to monitor its surroundings without moving its body. Its massive and fixed eyes are designed to capture the minimum light radiation, allowing it an exceptional vision in dark conditions. The facial disc of feathers acts as a biological parabolic antenna, concentrating and amplifying sound waves toward its inner ears. Its talons are weapons of phenomenal power, capable of exerting a mechanical pressure of 2,000 newtons to secure its objective. With a weight of up to 2.5 kilograms, this predator is strong enough to neutralize mammals such as the hare. Its capacity for biological interaction allows it to face even other winged trackers, consolidating its status as an apex predator. Upon locating an acoustic signal, the owl launches into a technical descent, becoming an invisible shadow that intercepts its energy source. It communicates through deep and resonant calls that establish its territorial domain over vast areas of forest geography. As a regulator of populations of rodents and small birds, it ensures that the biological balance of its habitat remains healthy. The great horned owl is the personification of evolutionary precision, a silent guardian that watches over life from the heights of the night. Leaving behind dry land, the journey enters the cold waters off the coast of British Columbia, where one of the most intelligent predators of the ocean reigns without rival. It is the orca, Orschinus orca, the largest member of the dolphin family and a true marine super-predator. Its extraordinary intelligence allows it to learn new hunting techniques and transmit that knowledge from one generation to another. Each group maintains a complex system of communication through whistles, pulses, and calls that strengthen the coordination of the entire family. Cooperation turns orcas into hunters capable of capturing prey much faster or larger in size than an individual alone. They live in close-knit family groups that roam vast expanses of the ocean following the migrations of their prey. In the distance, a seal rests on a small rock, surrounded by the cold waves of the North Pacific. The pod immediately detects its presence and begins to approach in complete silence. Each orca occupies a different position while they prepare a carefully synchronized strategy. Several orcas swim with force to generate a large wave directed toward the rock where the seal is located. The powerful impact of the water drags the seal toward the open sea, where it no longer has refuge. Without losing a single moment, the orcas surround the prey, preventing it from escaping in any direction. The catch concludes thanks to almost perfect coordination between all members of the group. Each generation learns these complex strategies by observing and collaborating with the most experienced individuals. In the cold waters of British Columbia, the orca proves that intelligence, communication, and teamwork are the true keys to dominating the top of the marine food chain. In the gelid immensity of the Arctic tundra, a small sentinel of immaculate coat challenges the most extreme temperatures of the northern hemisphere. The Arctic fox, scientifically named as Vulpes lagopus, is the sovereign of agility in the frozen confines of Canada and Greenland. Its physical evolution allows it to perform a chromatic metamorphosis, passing from a pure white in winter to a brownish grey tone during summer. This adaptation provides it with an absolute camouflage, allowing it to be almost invisible both for its opponents and for its biological sustenance. Its compact body and small ears are traits designed to minimize heat loss in environments of up to -50 degrees Celsius. It possesses an exceptionally sharp sense of hearing, capable of detecting the frequency of the movement of lemmings under a meter of dense snow. Its legs are covered by a dense coat that functions as a natural thermal insulator, allowing it to walk on ice with total stability. With a weight that barely reaches 4 kilograms, this small mammal is a model of energy efficiency in the polar geography. Upon locating a signal under the snow, The fox performs a precise parabolic jump to intercept its target with an impeccable technique. The impact velocity in its descent can reach 20 kilometers per hour, allowing it to penetrate the surface hardened by the cold. This movement generates a force measured in newtons that neutralizes the escape capacity of the small rodents hidden in their tunnels. Its diet depends fundamentally on lemmings, although it can cover distances of up to 100 kilometers in a day looking for other resources. In moments of scarcity, it usually follows the footsteps of the polar bear to take advantage of the remains of the biological encounters of the white giant. It communicates through a series of high calls and body postures that establish the social hierarchy within its family unit. As a regulator of rodent populations, the Arctic fox is a fundamental pillar for the stability and health of the Canadian tundra. Along the crystalline streams that meander through the forests of Canada, a tireless engineer works to transform nature's relief. The Canadian beaver, known scientifically as Castor canadensis, is the second largest rodent on the planet and a fundamental pillar of biodiversity. An adult specimen can reach a mass of 30 kilograms, possessing a robust physical structure designed for constant hydraulic work. Its most iconic biological tool are its orange-colored incisors, reinforced with iron, which grow continuously and can fell trunks with phenomenal hardness. Its wide and flattened tail acts as a precision rudder under the liquid and as an acoustic warning signal when hitting the surface before a threat. With unparalleled technical skill, the beaver builds dams of branches and mud that can reach lengths of several meters, modifying the water flow. These structures slow down the current, creating deep lagoons that function as safe refuges against terrestrial trackers patrolling the area. In the center of these calm waters, they erect their lodges with submerged entrances to guarantee absolute protection of their family unit. They possess a nictitating membrane in their eyes and valves in their ears and nose that allow them to remain submerged for periods of up to 15 minutes. By creating these new wetlands, the beaver provides a vital habitat for fish, waterfowl, and a great diversity of regional flora. The mechanical force applied when transporting heavy trunks can exceed 500 newtons, demonstrating an admirable physical power for a mammal of its scale. They communicate through odoriferous marks produced by specialized glands, clearly establishing the territorial limits of their aquatic domain. Its dense and waterproof coat, composed of thousands of hairs per square centimetre, effectively protects it from the gelid temperatures of the Canadian winter. As a keystone species, its absence would drastically alter the geography and biological health of river systems across North America. The Canadian beaver is the great architect of the forest, a symbol of perseverance and balance that sustains life through its hydraulic constructions. Every summer, the cold waters of the Pacific witness one of the most epic and transcendental movements of nature. The Pacific salmon, belonging to the genus Oncorhynchus, begins its journey from the ocean toward the high mountain streams. Millions of individuals congregate at the river mouths, driven by a biological instinct that challenges all physical resistance. To reach their destination, they must swim hundreds of kilometers against the current, overcoming height differences of several meters through powerful jumps. Their orientation capacity is amazing, using magnetic fields and chemical signals to locate the exact place of their origin. During this transit, their body experiences drastic structural changes, adapting to ensure the continuity of their lineage. The salmon is the cornerstone of the ecosystem, a massive source of energy that sustains the great inhabitants of the forest. In the waterfalls, the brown bear waits with millimetric patience, intercepting specimens with absolute mechanical precision. The bald eagle patrols from the heights, catching fish with its 2,700 Newton talons to ensure its vital nutrition. Even the coastal wolf joins the biological encounter, taking advantage of the shallow areas to obtain its seasonal sustenance. After fulfilling their mission of reproduction, the salmon yield their biomass to the environment, starting a large-scale fertilization process. The oceanic nitrogen transported by their bodies is absorbed by the soil, allowing trees to grow with superior speed. The presence of salmon ensures that the health of the Canadian forest remains vibrant and productive for all species. Without this flow of liquid energy, the stability of the North American food web would be seriously compromised. The journey of the salmon is the supreme testimony of the biological sacrifice that allows the constant renewal of wildlife. Moving away from the plains, the horizon expands over an infinite sea of conifers that defines the geography of the north of the continent. The Canadian taiga is the most extensive boreal forest on the planet, an ecosystem of an impressive geographic and biological magnitude. For more than 6 months a year, this majestic domain remains under the absolute control of a gelid and persistent winter. Temperatures can drop drastically to reach -40 degrees Celsius in the most extreme nights of the season. Evergreens have developed a perfect conical structure to prevent dense snow from fracturing their massive branches. This natural sanctuary provides refuge and vital resources to hundreds of species that have learned to master the climate's hostility. The taiga acts as an immense biological filter, processing tons of carbon to maintain the stability of the atmosphere globally. Under the thick layer of snow, slow decomposition ensures a cycle of nutrients that allows for the persistence of plant life. Mammals of the region depend on forest density to protect themselves from winds that exceed 50 kilometers per hour. With an extension of millions of square kilometers, it is a natural barrier that protects the unique biodiversity of the far north. During spring, the taiga becomes the final destination for millions of migratory birds looking to ensure their reproduction. Resource scarcity imposes a biological discipline where only the fittest beings manage to ensure their continuity in this territory. The interaction between frozen soil and resilient flora maintains a vital hydrological balance for all nearby rivers. The boreal forest is the guardian of nature's purity, a masterpiece of biological architecture on the Earth's surface. The Canadian taiga is not just a forest, it is the vibrant lung that allows life to flourish in the confines of the cold. When the veil of the boreal winter closes over northern Canada, the geography is transformed into a kingdom of crystal and biting wind. Temperatures descend relentlessly below -40 degrees Celsius, challenging the biological limits of each inhabitant. The grizzly bear has already retired to its underground refuge, starting a period of lethargy where its heart rate decreases drastically. During these months, its organism depends exclusively on the accumulated fat reserves, conserving the vital energy necessary for the spring rebirth. On the surface, the grey wolf leads the active resistance, using the cohesion of its pack to patrol vast distances over the hardened snow. Its dense coat has 2 layers of protection: a thermal barrier that prevents body heat from dissipating before the gelid air. The Arctic fox becomes a white shadow, taking advantage of its efficient metabolism to travel up to 100 kilometers in search of organic remains. Its legs are equipped with a heat exchange system that prevents the freezing of its limbs upon contact with the solid ground. Small birds, like the boreal chickadee, must consume an amount of food equivalent to their own weight each day to generate metabolic heat. Communication in this environment is reduced to the minimum, conserving each gram of strength for fundamental tasks of protection and searching. Movement through deep snow requires a mechanical power, measured in newtons, that quickly exhausts the stamina of the less fit. The coyote's strategy is based on opportunism, tracking the footprints of the large inhabitants to ensure its own biological continuity. This period of absolute rigor functions as a natural selection filter, ensuring that only the most resilient lineage persists in the taiga. Winter in northern Canada is the testimony of life's victory over the inanimate and hostile geography of cold. Each year, the horizon of the Canadian Arctic is transformed with the tide of hooves of one of the most extensive migrations on Earth. The caribou, known scientifically as Rangifer tarandus, is the tireless nomad that travels thousands of kilometers in search of fresh pastures. Its hooves act as natural snowshoes that distribute its mass of up to 180 kilograms over the soft snow and swampy terrain. During its journey, the group faces massive geographic challenges, such as rushing rivers that they must cross with absolute determination. As efficient swimmers, caribou use their hollow coat to increase their buoyancy in the gelid liquid of the northern valleys. In the critical points of the route, the grey wolf waits silently to attempt a tactical maneuver against the most vulnerable individuals. Upon detecting a danger signal, the herd accelerates its pace, reaching speeds of 80 kilometers per hour to neutralize the encounter. This biological odyssey can cover a total distance of more than 3,000 kilometers between its breeding areas and its winter refuges. Its senses are on maximum alert, capturing vibrations and chemical signals that indicate the presence of trackers in the gloom. The social cohesion of the group is its greatest defense, allowing thousands of eyes to watch the environment while moving through Arctic geography. Its limbs generates a power measured in newtons that allows them to break the surface ice to access the nutritious lichen under the ground. The caribou is the architect of balance in the tundra, ensuring that the cycle of energy persists in the most remote regions of Canada. In the vast lands of the north, the intersection of territories turns the landscape into a board of high biological tension and pure strategy. The grizzly bear, or Ursus arctos horribilis, claims its sovereignty through an imposing mass that can exceed 400 kilograms of pure muscle. In front of the solitary giant, the grey wolf uses the power of its social unit to defend energy resources and the integrity of the pack. The cougar, known scientifically as Puma concolor, acts as the most agile tracker, avoiding direct contact through stealth and observation. In this web of power, the glutton or wolverine demonstrates a bravery disproportionate to its weight of barely 15 kilograms in each encounter. A grizzly can displace an entire pack of lesser competitors thanks to a mechanical force measured in thousands of newtons in its limbs. However, wolves use constant communication to coordinate a strategic retreat or a collective defense of their territory before the colossus. The wolverine challenges much larger trackers, using its ferocity and its powerful jaws to claim its part of the biological encounter. The cougar prefers withdrawal toward the tree heights, using its jumping capacity to monitor the situation from a safe position. Each inhabitant depends on its sharp senses to detect the presence of an opponent before the physical encounter is inevitable. Mutual regulation between these alpha trackers ensures the constant flow of energy through the various strata of gelid wildlife. The harmony of the cold lands is born from this respect forged by power, a millennial dance that preserves the majesty of the taiga. Canada rises as the most imposing natural monument of the Northern Hemisphere, a geography where cold sculpts the very essence of life. From the peaks of the Rocky Mountains to the immensity of the Arctic tundra, this domain covers ecosystems of incomparable magnitude. The sovereigns of the North, like the polar bear and grey wolf, maintain the pulse of a biological system that has endured for millennia. However, this dynamic balance faces the pressure of an environmental transformation that alters the stability of currents and the soil. The reduction of sea ice threatens the sustenance search platform of the far north inhabitants, limiting their biological encounters. Fires in the taiga alter the structure of ancient forests, forcing trackers to move toward new latitudes of geography. Each change in temperature, measured in fractions of a degree Celsius, generates a profound impact on the food web of this wild nature. It is imperative to ensure the protection of these sanctuaries so that the flow of liquid and solid energy continues to nourish all species. Preserving the integrity of glaciers is ensuring that the legacy of the great cold inhabitants remains intact for future generations. May the roar of the wind and the howls of the predators continue to be the voice of a land that refuses to lose its sovereignty. Canada must endure as the great kingdom of cold, where the majesty of creation flourishes under the guard of its eternal lords. Subscribe to the channel besides sharing this video to carry far this message of respect. Each gesture helps to protect the wonderful creation of nature